Hello, this is the Capstone Presentation for Edgar Rico Cahigao. This is an organizational tool to develop fourth grade typing skills as part of the Masters of Science curriculum and instruction. The research topic is typing skills must be explicitly taught for students to become proficient with typing. Students who receive structured keyboard instruction improve typing speed and accuracy most efficiently. This topic is relevant to the field of curriculum and instruction because students will not be able to perform to their best abilities if they are impeded by their typing skills. The problem statement. Fourth grade teachers and other teachers in the researcher school struggle with developing adequate typing skills within the ELA curriculum. This impacts students' abilities to perform as their focus is split between typing and responding to the writing prompts. A possible cause is that the ELA curriculum doesn't have methods or time to practice and develop typing skills. The research question. How might an ELA-centered typing organizational tool be developed to address the problem that fourth grade students struggle with typing skills? The product. The organizational tool is structured with a daily typing lesson that should take students between 5 to 10 minutes, except for lesson 10, which may take longer since it combines typing and spelling. The sequence of letters learned is designed by typing.com, which is referenced here. The first page of the tool is seen to the right. And if we look here, you can see a title and a brief description along with the days on the left and actual content on the right. The content describes the letters and where the fingers should go with each letter. Methodology. Data was qualitative and was open-ended responses to survey questions. Data collection and analysis methods. Data was collected using a survey from 7 participants at the researcher school. Data was analyzed using thematic analysis by finding patterns in participants' responses to create broader conclusions. Survey questions are listed below. Position. Please describe the methods you use to develop typing skills with your students. How often do you use typing.com with your students? Typing.com is a district-provided program to develop typing. To what extent do you feel that your students struggle with typing on their end of the year assessments? How helpful do you feel a structured keyboarding program would be to developing typing fluency with your students? How much time do you feel you could dedicate to developing typing fluency explicitly with your students if you aren't already? How do you feel about developing typing skills if students were also working on other subjects at the same time? What, if any, elements do you think should be considered in the development of a structured typing program? Dataset number 1. The table shows responses to the first dataset. The prompt is in the heading. Position. Principal, 3rd grade, interventionist, SPED teacher, 3rd grade teacher, a 2nd grade teacher, and a teacher, 2nd grade. Dataset number 2. This table shows responses to the second dataset, and the prompt is also in the heading. Please describe the methods you use to develop typing skills with your students. Several positions listed non-applicable, NA. We use a little bit of typing.com because it is free. I prefer Typetastic, a different program, and used a free trial. We also practice while doing writing work. One participant said, currently I'm stretched too thin to be able to do this. I use programs like Typetastic. One participant said none. Another said, we do not use any specific program. The students have entered our rooms typing in individuous manners. How often do you use typing.com with your students is what that says. This is data set number 3. NA, 10 to 15 times, and then encourage them to use at home. NA, never. I use a typing program during my daily 5 routine. Never, and do not use. Dataset number 4. To what extent do you feel that your students struggle with typing on their end of the year assessments? NA. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most, I think a 5. NA. My whole caseload gives you help with this skill. I think there is a significant impact on student success because their cognitive load is already high to then just have their labored streams of thought be stunted by the keyboarding skills. They do not use online assessments. Our assessments are still completed with paper and pencil. Data set number 5. The graph shows responses to the fifth data set. How helpful do you feel a structured keyboarding program would be to developing typing fluency with your students? 28% of responses said somewhat helpful, but the majority, 71%, said very helpful. A third response was available. Participants could have also said not helpful, but no participants selected that. So all participants seem to think that a structured keyboarding program would at least be somewhat helpful to developing typing fluency with their students. How much time do you feel you could dedicate to developing typing fluency explicitly with your students if you aren't already? Data set number 6 here. NA, 2 times a week for 3 months. NA, with my role minimal, maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour per week. I think keyboarding needs to be included in our standards because right now I have no time for typing to meet all the other standards. We start off with a solid routine of it, but as content and rigor increase, typing takes a back seat. 15 minutes a day. I do not feel that we have a lot of time to dedicate to typing. Maybe 10 minutes a few weeks a week would be manageable. So, how do you feel about developing typing skills if students were also working on other subjects at the same time? If typing were taught, I would like to see it combined with morning meeting or another subject in an effort to save and use time efficiently. This could be a better use of time. Or this is a better use of time, excuse me. Could work on typing at the same time. They could be integrated. This could be a good prep for future testing, etc. As long as the content was familiar and the basic typing skills have been established, I think it is a reasonable idea. I'd still want to be able to monitor correct hand placement, etc., especially with my age group. This would take me away from supporting with content which, outside of cognitive load, is another reason content would need to be at an independent level. I feel it would be better if the typing skills were taught separately. It is hard to fit in with all the literacy components as well as other criteria. This response is interesting because most seem to agree that students could work on other subjects at the same time, except for one response who felt that typing skills should be taught separately. In the last data set 8, what, if any, elements do you think should be considered in the development of a structured typing program? An effective elementary typing program should consider the following elements: age-appropriate content and pace, interactive and engaging activities, clear and concise instruction, gradual skill progression, accurate and immediate feedback, and built-in keyboarding exercises to improve hand-eye coordination, accuracy, and speed. The key to implementation would be consistent use and monitoring. Program costs would be something to consider as most instructional money is spent for other academic programs. What elements should be considered in the development of the structured typing program? More responses include incorporating grade level standards, encourage use of both hands, all 5 fingers, engaging. Another response said, not sure. Another participant said, repetition, ease of use, add a game type element for excitement. Another response said, to start, I think explicit instruction on how to type, whether through a program or from instructors, is most important. Consistent feedback and monitoring is needed during practice. Content needs to be at students' independent level. Writing without a draft should be the very last way students practice typing because of the amount of cognition it takes to write by itself. I also think students should have some way of tracking their progress to keep them accountable and motivated. Another response, use the procedures that used to be taught in typing classes for typewriters. The keyboard is the same for the most part. List a few changes would be necessary. Last response. We asked a few years ago about a typing program, and our tech staff said the kids learn it naturally. So we dropped the subject and did not bring it up in the following years. I feel the elements necessary would be at the typing program needs to be fun, engaging, and task analyzed to build upon skills mastered. Results. So, based on the data sets previously mentioned, here are some results and findings. Teachers do not have guidance on how to teach typing. The district-provided software is underutilized and undertrained. Teachers whose students type on end-of-year assessments feel that their students struggle with typing on such assessments. All participants agree that a structured keyboarding program would help their students develop typing fluency. Participants would benefit from guidance on how and when to teach typing. Participants think that typing can be practiced simultaneously with other skills. Conclusions. Lack of typing instruction curriculum contributes to students' insufficient typing skills. Lack of time for typing practice contributes to typing skills not being developed. The organizational tool that has been created can help provide a structure that teachers can use to begin teaching typing to their students. Typing skills can be practiced at the same time as other subjects, allowing teachers the opportunity to have students work on multiple subjects at once. This helps address the issue of not having time to work on typing. Strengths and weaknesses of methodology. Some strengths. Participants from various positions were surveyed. Also, responses were open-ended, allowing participants to share their full thoughts and opinions. Some weaknesses. Only surveyed teachers from one school. Additionally, only 2 classroom teachers were able to complete the survey. 2 classroom teachers that used typing on their end-of-the-year assessments, that is. Influential factors. The survey was completed during summer break. This made it challenging to find participants to complete the survey. This may have contributed to only 4 classroom teachers in general being willing and able to complete the survey. Participants could have also forgotten certain details after being away from their workplace for some time. Another influential factor is that attitudes around technology are another potential influential factor. Some teachers are reluctant to use technology in general, and such attitudes could have affected responses. Further investigation. What specifically typing instruction should look like? Should students first focus on finger positioning, speed, or accuracy? Also, at what age should typing instruction first be introduced? These are the ideas that would be good to continue further investigations on. That brings us to our references mentioned throughout the presentation. And that concludes the capstone presentation. Thank you for your time and consideration, and hope you have a great day.